Hi everybody, and welcome to the All About Property show. This is where I come to this group with content dedicated for this group about a popular post that's been gone on in the group. So this week is my good friend's post. I've done a few on these. He shares some really great content, so he makes it very easy for me, so thank you, Daniel. But it's about Daniel's post, which is what is stopping you from getting into property what is stopping you from getting the property you want at the moment? Sorry, let me spit that out correctly. So I'm Harvey, I'm a remote property investor, and as I said, I'm here every week. So I'm going to voice the question to you. What is stopping you at the moment? What is the biggest hurdles that's stopping you? I'm going to read through some of these comments on here and just share this post, and then try and give some feedback and thoughts around what people's reasoning are behind it. And there is some genuine reasons, but also in my view, I'll give you my views around it. But what is stopping you at the moment from getting property? If you could share now, share your thoughts and views around this, and I'll read out some of the answers in here. So I found this very interesting. So Elaine said cash flow. Tom has said they're not up for sale. Charlotte said inflated prices. Who's experiencing that? Who's finding the prices are already inflated? So we're getting a few more people on here. So the question is, what is stopping you from getting the property you want at the moment? So put in the comments what's stopping you. Let's discuss this. I'm going to give my thoughts and views around some solutions around this. It is a tough market without question. I'm not going to say, like I've seen some people say, you're looking in the wrong place, do this and do that, and they'll come flooding to you. There is deals still out there at the moment, though, by the way, guys. There's not floods of them in my experience of in any form of marketing, whether you're getting them from agents, whether you're getting them direct to vendor. There's not floods of them, but they are still out there. So you better, my view is, you better off having a small chance than zero chance. You better off being in the game than not in the game. And the credibility and the relationships and the profile you build by being in the game at the moment, by documenting what you're doing, will easily be as valuable as the properties that you're buying at the moment, because so much gets done on relationships and your profile. So this is why I encourage people to move forward. But Frederick has said the hassle, it evolves in it. Lawrence has said prices are well above what is reasonable bricks and mortar value at the moment. Who's experiencing that? Be interesting to see. Jack said people watching homes under the hammer. Yeah, you get a lot of amateurs. How are people finding the auctions at the moment? The auctions seem to be absolutely crazy. Like when you add up the price of these properties by the time you've done the refurb, it's more than the properties are for sale on retail. It just don't make sense, but it's emotions and people watching home under the hammer that really drives towards this. Heather said, I've managed to buy 6 more rentals since November, but the market is red hot and multiple offers on anything decent. Auction prices are through the roof, after saying that coincidentally, worse than buying from agents. However, I am with an additional 6 I've added to my portfolio. This is in Nottinghamshire. We have southern investors buying over the phone for cash, and this is what happening. I'm a southern investor, I'm a remote investor, I live in the south and invest in the northeast, but this is happening a lot in our area. A lot of people are just buying for cash because they're chasing yields and they're going to the northeast. They're chasing this for cash. Good morning everybody. Hi Seth, how you doing, mate? Seth, I noticed you commented on this. Hi Harvey, I've made so many offers but struggling to get one accepted. Many going over asking price right now. Still continue to make offers. Yeah, and the power is, though, you'll be making relationships, you'll be making yourself credible to agents. This is why I'm going to encourage everybody to keep moving forward. Don't just sit on your hands, because what happens in this market at the moment, in any market, is deals get done on follow-ups mainly, and what happens is deals get done on follow-ups with people that they like. I had 2 people coming through my coaching program at the moment, both bid on the same property. They didn't realise they was both bidding, and the agent went with a bid that was £1,000 lower. He told the guy there, so I had the back-end information from both of these. He's told the guy, look, we've got a high offer, but get it in now and we'll get it done. So that was a relationship he's built with the agent, better than the other guy did. Both of these are nice guys, by the way, but people bond with different people. This is why it's important with agents to bond with the right people. It is harder to get deals from agents. It's harder to get deals direct to vendor. We've got direct to vendor campaigns out at the moment, and even vendors know at the moment that the market's hot. Like it's on the news everywhere, you know, so you'd have to have your head firmly shoved under a pillar for the last year to not know that the property market is on fire. So vendors have got a real high expectation of their properties. Agents don't help with that. But again, I've got a property sent to me yesterday on my phone. I'll show you it quickly now. Sent to me yesterday. It's before it's hit the market. Speaking to another agent a day before, 2 properties he's valuing, said they'd probably be up your street before it hits the market. This is the sort of, so this is what I got sent yesterday. Was this yesterday? No, this was Thursday. So I got sent this Thursday, sent this picture. I don't know if you can see it because my lights are on the background. So it says, so you like the look of this? And it's exactly that. It looks, needs a lot of work, this one. But he sent it to me. So this is when the agent is valuing the property. So what he's going out, he's not even got instructed on that yet. So they're not even sure he's definitely going to sell it. But why he's value it taking the pictures? He's got me in mind because he knows it's a property that might suit me. And then he's saying to them, we've got investors. I've got an investor here. If you want a quick sale, if not, we'll try it on the market. He's very transparent with them. You don't try and collude them into going towards me. But he says, look, if you want an option with no tie kickers, still 1 in 3 deals fall out of bed, there's a guy that will do this. If not, we put it on the market and see where we perform it that way. It's your choice. And not all of them come my way by doing that, but many of them do. Not many of them do, but some of them do, should I say. But why does this agent send me these? Because of relationship, because I'm in contact with him constantly, because I'm in the front of his foremind. I went to this particular agent's wedding. So he invited me to his wedding. That's how good of a friend we actually become over the years. And in 2019, I slowed down buying properties because I made a mess of my lettings company and I made a mess of the management. And we said, look, we've really got to slow down buying properties and get on top of the management because we're just creating a mess with that. And we wasn't doing well with the lettings. So there's no point buying loads of properties if you're not renting them out correctly. So we spent a year working on that. So I wasn't in contact with his agents as much, and I'd been to his wedding the year before, wasn't in contact with him as much, and all of them stopped sending me deals and stopped phoning me. And then in 2020, beginning of 2020, when I went to start buying again, I started contacting them all and getting fresh on their minds, and they start sending me deals again. So the importance of maintaining that contact with agents and with vendors, even if you're doing direct to vendor campaigns, a lot of them will say at the moment, yeah, I think I'll try it on the market. I think I'll try it with an agent. It seems hot at the moment. Like 1 in 3 deals fall out of bed. So when that falls out of bed, if you maintain that relationship with them, they're going to come back to you. Similar again, even with direct to vendor stuff. If you're doing your direct to vendor stuff and you speak to people, you give them advice, you try and bond with them, build rapport, and they go, not sure if I'm going to sell yet. And they don't sell, then in 3 months' time they decide to sell. Or they do sell, and then the person either gets a down valuation or the mortgage don't go through. They become a different level of motivation, and their emotions are involved, and they go back to the person fresh on their mind. So if you kept in contact with them, how you getting on with that house? Is it moved yet? If you think of reduction, keep us in mind, please. Understand that you want to try and get the best price for it. I would do the same if I was you. But if you have any troubles, any deals fall out of bed, keep us in mind. And yeah, if you ever think of a reduction, I'm not going to try and give you a silly offer, but if you ever think of reduction, we'll be here if you just want an exchange of a reliable, fast sale. You keep in contact with them, see how they're doing, and ask a few questions about them and make notes of what you've asked about them. And loads of deals. It is time consuming, it is work, but look, you can't just expect to put your hand up and just like go on Rightmove and it's like a sweet shop and go, I fancy a BRR deal this week. Oh, there's one, I'll have that now. You've got to put work into it. And as it's becoming a more mature market, this investment market, because more and more people, sophisticated investors are in this market, it's becoming more of a place where you have to be professional, knowing what you're doing and consistent with it. And stay with that consistency, you will get deals done. We're getting deals done. I got deals done from an agent about 3 weeks ago. It works out about 24% BMV once we do the work in there. Don't need loads of work. Needs a new kitchen, bit of carpets around the house, new tiling in the bathroom, but don't need loads of work. But once we get up to standard, it's about 24% below market value deal after the refurb cost. And that was with an agent I've never even met before. So if I'd have just said, oh, right, I'm giving up, I'm just going to wait till the market calls, or you can't get deals from agents off a Rightmove, I wouldn't have that deal going through right now. So you've got to stay consistent with it. So Colin said, I'm going through a divorce. My wife has stopped paying bills on time. Now I've got bad credit and can't get a mortgage. That's why it's stopping me. Yeah, that is quite a difficult one. So Colin, think of things like potentially people you could partner with, people you could use like maybe have a family member you could use as a mortgage host for you or do deals with. It's not a lack of resources. it's a lack of resourcefulness. I've worked with people that have had bad credit, that have had no money. And don't get me wrong, they're exceptions of the rule. But the reason they're exceptions of the rule is because they do what the other people won't, are not willing to do. So the thing is, everybody wants the results, but because if you do the things that everybody's not willing to do, you'll get what everybody wants. And everybody's not willing to be consistent all the time with it, or be resourceful, or think outside the box. You've always got to be trying to think around solutions. Don't think, I can't do this. Just think, how can I do this? Constantly, instead of saying, I can't, think how. You know, and the how might not be a right solution for you at this time and at the moment. But it's still, if you can navigate your mind towards, how can I, instead of I can't, you will always be, you'll trigger your mind towards getting solutions. Not every solution will be right, not every solution will be at the right timing, but if you do this on every situation, eventually you'll be navigating through things, and maybe one in four things that was a definite no before will make work right, and that 1 in 4 is better than 0 in 4, you know. So you really got to look at this on a bigger picture, a view around it. So just keep that mindset in gear and gearing towards that. I've lost the post now, so I was going through them. 1 second while I find it up. But yeah, it is a challenging situation, Colin. Just keep on thinking, how, why, who can I partner with, what can I do, you know, how can I speak to the banks to try and get myself back on form? Can I think of purchase lease options at the moment that I might get an agreement over the next 5 years, and in that case I might be thinking to myself, if I get agreement over the next 5 years, then by 5 years time I can repair my credit score. I think, how can you repair your credit score? Speak to the banks, speak to the credit agencies. Similar again, you might be thinking about assisted sales. So really good strategy in today's market is, it might be a flip, but by the time you bought it, by the time you've spent stamp duty and legal costs and buying costs, and also bearing in mind, not all lenders will lend in a shorter period of 6 years, so 6 months, sorry. So there is odd lenders, but not everybody, like first time buyers might want to buy your home on this 5% deposit. They won't be able to do that if it's owned for less than 6 months. So the way you can negotiate with vendors is saying, look, your property is priced at this, it needs 15k's worth of work for it. It's really keen the way it's priced. If you could wait maybe an extra 3 weeks, because the refurb's going to take us 3 weeks to do. So if you wait an extra 3 weeks, we could do the refurb all legally. So we don't buy it, we just assist you to sell it. So we've got skin in the game. So we'll do the refurb, we'll do the work. It takes about 3 weeks. We put it back on the market as a gleaming brand new home, and then we resell it. So we get you pretty much your full asking price instead of bidding you on that. And we can do that because we haven't got to incur legal fees, legal fees, stamp duties, or anything like this, and we just take our profit on top from there at the end, all done legally. You can then say to them also, look, the thing for us at the moment, we wouldn't want to buy this as a flip at the moment, because in 6 months time, when most people are in the market, or the time it takes to go through the legals and everything, this hot market might have slowed down. So we can get this turned around in 3 weeks, and that would still put us in this hot market and ability to sell. So some people will be open to that option, especially some people might have inherited their property. If you find out where their points are, especially with agents. Like, there was a deal that looked at us the other day with an agent, and I suggested this to him. I said, look, where the vendor's at, it's just not quite got that margin in to be able to flip it. You know, it's probably only got about 15k margin in it. And that's when you're not accounting for buying costs, selling costs, like estate agent costs, all these costs. I said, as soon as you put them into it, it's not much. But if I could then just, I only probably need an 8k refurb. If I could spend an 8k refurb and they're happy, probably take me 2 weeks. So they'll only be 2 weeks behind. We could get it on track. He said, it's probably not one for this vendor, but that seed's planted in the agent's head. So I keep on planting that and keep on asking them questions, keep that relationship there. He keeps on phoning me with deals still at the moment as well. So really important to keep that consistency, you know. Just try and always think, not I can't. So this is my biggest encouragement to everybody in here. So the question was, what's stopping you? Instead of thinking I can't, just think, how can I? As I said, and get your mind navigated. There might not be a way at the end of it, but if you navigate your mind towards this positive psychology, not BS psychology where you're like, I'm a millionaire, and everything's perfect. Not everything is perfect, but positive psychology, navigating your mind towards solutions-based mindset, will push you forward. This is the difference between successful people. They don't think of roadblocks. They just think of, look, these are challenges. What are we going to do to get over these challenges? These hurdles are in the way. How can we jump over it? If it's too high for us to physically jump, could we potentially get a trampoline? If it's too hard for us to physically jump with a trampoline, could we potentially get a ladder? You know, they're always trying to find a solution around this. The solution might not be white. Like you might think, oh, well, if there's a ladder, we've got to drop off the other side. We're not going to do that, but that is a solution anyway. If you can navigate your mind towards this, this is what's going to keep on gravitating you forward all the time. There's a fantastic book called The Happiness Advantage, and science shows positive way of thinking, positive enforcement of thinking will move you forward in every element of your life, you know. So if you think positively, you'll have better relationships, better careers, because your mind naturally gravitates towards a solution. You'll walk into a house where most people say this is impossible, and you'll think, oh, if I just do that, do this, and then you can make things work that other people can't make things work. So they showed this on science. This is dot test where you put the pencil on the paper and you can't lift it. You've got to connect the dots 9 times. It's really hard. So when people try it, I think something, I can't remember the exact statistics, I read the book a long time ago, but when people try this, something like 10% of them actually pass this dot test. When they flooded people's mind with positive emotions, showed them things they was grateful for and they liked, and they really got them positive, that went up to about 40%. I can't remember the exact statistics, but it jumped up large, you know. Anything when you're in a good mood, in a positive frame, so you think about it, you know, when you're in a good mood and you get something come through, it might be a silly little bill or a little scratch on your car, you bounce it off, you go, oh, okay, no problem, this is a solution around it. When you've got loads of stress and loads of compound of things going on, the littlest things will throw you off your track. So again, that's just your emotional mind, how it works. So this is what I'm trying to encourage people to get around being, is to always try and keep a positive mind frame. And that's not a deluded one. Everything's roses. Don't worry, if you just positively think a house will land on your doorstep tomorrow. It's not the secret style thing. The secret's got lots of truth in there, but it did kind of be a little bit misleading in some of the bits for me, but it's a fantastic book. So let's have a look, read through some of these other things. Section 24, landlord again. Think about different structures, tax structures, speaking to the right accountants and the right teams, and there is solutions around that. Also, the fact the market is so hot right now, properties overselling, yeah, for sure, but don't forget there's capital growth involved with this. But as I said, consistency of being out there in the market is what's going to move you forward. We're getting deals done, not as many as we'd like, but as I said, not as many as we'd like is better than no deals, full stop. Fantastic for my content, fantastic for my exposure, fantastic for my relationships with the agents. The market will replenish in stock levels at one point. The market will slow down at one point when the government stop this quantitative easing and pushing the money into the markets. And when that does, the relationships you've built over that time will be just equally as powerful as the deals you're doing at the moment, but equally as powerful when the deal falls out of bed. So really keep pushing forward is my advice. If you're serious about it, stay consistent. Inflated prices, impending crash. Look, if you make sure you invest for cash flow and you get enough of a buffer in there, so that buffer could be potentially putting down a 30% deposit as opposed to a 25% deposit. If you're doing the buy refurbish remortgage, you might only refinance out at 70% loan to value and leave yourself a buffer. If you've got a buffer in there and a strong cash flow, forget what the asset prices are doing. Cash flow's king, not the asset price. So you just want to stress test it to make sure if the market did drop 5%, could you and get a 5-year fix. But if the market did drop 5% at the end of that 5 years or end of your fixed term, can you remortgage out of it on that? If you've got 75% loan to value and there's no 80% loan to value products out there, you're going to be on a variable. Can you remortgage out the end of it, or on the variable, does it still earn money? I've got properties that earn money on a variable. I've got I think 3 on a variable at the moment that are still earning money because of the yield so high. And the reason it's on a variable is with a JV partner who's not sure what he wants to do with them, because he's had a few issues in his personal life and he's not sure where he's going to go with his properties. And on a variable, they still earn money, not as much as they do if they wasn't on a variable, but they still earn money. So just make sure you stress test them and buy for cash flow. Cash buyers snapping everything up within a week. Yeah, there's a lot of competition out there without a shadow of doubt. Lack of funds. Andrew, just stick on what you're doing. You know what you're doing at the moment. Like, a lot of people go on social media to hear about raising other people's money. There's loads of money out there at the moment that wants to come into the property market. This is what's also making it a bit hot at the moment, because a lot of people are thinking, I don't want my money in the bank. It's uncertain, low interest rates. What is a certain investment vehicle? Property. So lots of money's flooding in there. A lot of people are lending money to property investors to do that as well. So lack of funds, Andrew, if you stick with what you're doing with your profile and being out there, the biggest thing is, as I said, what stops people from doing this, they give up too quick, you know, I'm not saying you're giving up as well quick, Andrew, but I'm just saying consist with what you're doing. Funds will come your way if you consistently do what you're doing and putting yourself out there, showing the people what you're doing, showing your credibility. Investment does come, but you've got to stay consistent with it. Some people could do videos and content for a week and get investment. Some people do it for a month. Some people do it for 1 year. But if you consistently do it and consistently show up, consistently view properties, consistently show your journey, even if you're not buying deals, then that money will gravitate towards you. Just do it strategically and make sure you put I advise people not to go directly out there asking for money, but just go out there. And it's very similar to what you've done before, Andrew, is little things like this, like saying to people, look, I would work for free on you, because working for free and having that credibility is better than nothing. I just want to get the credibility, cut my teeth, show you what I'm worth, and the next deal I want this for it, you know. So again, it's that solution mindset, but being consistent. Solution mindset and being consistent is the absolute key. Kaylee has said, just been denied a joint mortgage. We both currently have mortgages and have been looking to sell both homes. I have 72% LTV mortgage for our joint property and funding. However, we have been rejected and my partner can't get a mortgage with high enough. Just ran. Some lenders won't. I got rejected by the Mortgage Works a little while ago, but I didn't by another company. So get a good broker. So make sure it's definitely not all companies will reject you. Some of them got different appetites, different criteria at the moment. So just have Kaylee, have a little shift around and look at some of the different lenders and options and brokers. Rizwan said, my wife's spending habits. That's probably a hard one to get a solution mindset around, or maybe just hide the credit card and pretend that you've lost it. Or I'm not sure of a solution for that one, but surely there will be a solution. I remember the solution for my wife getting into property. Here's a story for you. I tried to get my wife into property, not with me, but just for herself. She's got a good job. She was getting offered a loan at the time, and I used a loan previously. Disclaimer, you're not allowed to use loans for property. I was comfortable stepping in the grey area because I knew I could pay that loan back anyway. But so disclaimer, don't use loans. But she was getting offered a loan, and I encouraged her to take that. She said no, but you had to change the why around it. I got her to buy me the Rich Dad Poor Dad board game for Christmas one year because I wanted to get her mindset on like investing and assets and moving forward. Her mindset is very much, she's went to university, she's got a good degree. It's very much in that system of things, you know, and that's just following her mum's footsteps as well, done exactly the same thing at a high level job. So I was trying to get her to understand, take some of that money and put it into assets. She wasn't keen on it. And then I got paid Rich Dad Poor Dad, and she was like, oh, okay, she kind of got it. She then went to look at the loan and they offered her an 18% interest. She was, that's too high, I'm not paying that. But I said, forget about what the interest is. As long as what you're putting that loan into as long as what we buy services that loan, the interest is irrelevant, you know? So it doesn't matter if it's 1,000%. If we buy something that pays that loan back for us, i.e. a property, the profit from the property pays that loan, then it's irrelevant. But she wouldn't go forward with it. But then when we got married, come up to 3 years now we've been married. When we went to get married, I got engaged to my wife, and I remember saying to her, when I first met my wife, this is my philosophy around marriage. I think a lot of people dive into it too soon. Again, it's an emotional thing, and I feel, look, if you definitely think you're going to be together forever, and bear in mind, maybe if you're in your late 80s or 90s, this might not be quite the same. But if you're on the downside of say 60, most people live to around 80 today. What is the harm of waiting at least 5 years to see if you still get along and you get past that first initial stage? If you're going to be together forever anyway, what is the rush? And that was my philosophy. I said, if we get to 5 years, we're getting along, we've been living together, and we still get along at that stage, I'll buy you a ring. And I did. We got to 5 years, we're still getting along, thankfully, and I got that ring. But when I got that ring, I said, look, businesses, I want to build a business at the moment, I'm still inputting. Like, weddings are expensive. Like, I don't want to just go and get married in the social club because the beers are 30p, but you've got sticky carpets. I want to do not something lavish, neither of us are lavish like that, but we want to do something we enjoy. And I really wanted a nice honeymoon. We went on a 2-month honeymoon to the Caribbean, and I said, look, let's do it right, but at the moment I really want to be keeping investing in my company. And she said, yeah, no problem, I'm just happy to get married. Sorry, it's a bit of a side tangent. I'm happy to set the ring and the security. But then every time I come home, say yes, and the dress was on TV. Every time I opened the laptop, there was wedding venues. And one day I just went, do you know what, if you want to fast forward this, I bet you take that loan and put it to the wedding. She's like, yeah, probably, possibly. So why don't you take that loan, we'll get a property, and by the way, disclaimer, you're not allowed to do this, but take this loan, we'll buy a property, what we'll do, we refurbish it, we refinance it, the money will come back to us, and the tenant will pay for that loan, and that can go towards a wedding. So you're using an asset to pay for a liability. Can't let my wife hear you say liability, I'll say a bit quieter. But yeah, that's what we done, you know, but that shifted the why behind it. So maybe there's one, if you can think of a why behind it. So look, if we invest in this, the profit you get from this, you can spend every month, maybe something like that. But all the whole sole purpose behind this is to try and get people to thinking around a solution mindset of things. Don't think of, I can't, just think of how, you know, and not always will this work, but if you do this 10 times, at least 2 times it'll work. And if you don't do this at all, then you're going to have no times it works, you know. And similar again, if you're out there trying to bid on properties, you might have to use double the amount, but having a slight chance is better than no chance. And as I said, the foundation you'll build off of the credibility and the relationships and the agents will be way more for future earnings powerful than just the one deal you buy now, and definitely way more than just doing nothing. So I hope you found that useful. Anybody else jumped on and their reasons why? Matthew's jumped on. Hi Matthew, how you doing, mate? We are sourcing deals for investors. We've done 3 yesterday. They're out there, just need to search. Absolutely. Matthew's powering forward. He's got probably 6 in legals prior to that 3 as well. So if you sit on your hands and just wait, then unfortunately you're going to miss out. Just make sure you do the fundamentals. Make sure there's a bit of equity in that to allow for any asset price fluctuations. In Matthew's in my location, my remote location, in them areas, in the price demographic we buy in, there's not going to be a massive fluctuation anyway. But just make sure you've got a bit of protection in case there is an asset price fluctuation, and your mortgage can protect that going forward. And make sure you've got good cash flow, and cash flow is protected against yield rises, and you'll be fine, you know. So cash flow is king. Where are we now with his comments? Seth has said, hi Harvey, agree, consistency is key, making offers daily at the moment, and one has to be accepted. But don't forget, Seth, you've also had ones going through at the moment. I know you just had one 4 out of bed, but that happens, you know, like it's got to stay, pardon me, sorry guys, consistent and positive around this, and things will happen. Any more? Matthew said, we are at our project now, 3-bedroom terraced house into a 5-bedroom, all en suite, BRR, all money out. Yeah, Matthew's doing great things. Just get out there, get going. Seth said, great advice. We teach this to schools and call a growth mindset consistency. Yeah, one of my values is growth mindset, especially for my company. Let's keep a growth mindset. Let's keep on that moving forward. Because if you just stagnate your mindset and always look for the objective, then unfortunately that's game over for you, you know. Just keep on looking for solutions. Colin said, when I was in school 50 years ago, at the start of every day, the teacher made us stand up in class and sing a song. Yeah, great thing, get you in that positive mood. But great discussion today. Thanks guys for jumping on and showing your views and sharing in that. This is what makes the discussions good. I'm here every Saturday. It's All About Property live show, approved by OIS. It's every Saturday, 11 a.m. Join me next Saturday and we'll discuss another interesting discussion from the group. Any suggestions on what you'd like me to discuss, as long as I can give value to it, please ping them over to me or OS, and I'll happily jump on a live. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you're never going to live on your own terms. Have a great Easter weekend, everybody, and a fantastic day.